Welcome to KMUZ Theater Talk. I'm your host, Ed Shopes, bringing you news and in-depth interviews about plays and auditions happening at theaters throughout the Mid-Willamette Valley. We have a short program for you today before we take a holiday break until January. So in today's final program of 2025, we're going to dive into the KMUZ Theater Talk calendar to cover the list of holiday shows and auditions coming up in December, and see what's ahead in the new year at your favorite Mid-Willamette Valley theaters. At the McMinnville and Newburgh area theaters, at Gallery Theater in downtown McMinnville, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson, directed by Debbie Harmon Ferry, continues its run through December 14th. This holiday comedy features plenty of cheer for children and adults, a few favorite Christmas carols, and lots of laughs. It's all about a couple struggling to put on a church Christmas pageant that are faced with casting the Herdman kids, probably the most inventively awful children in history. The first show of Gallery's 2026 season is Almost Maine by John Cariani, told in 9 short vignettes set in a remote Maine town on a crisp, clear winter night. The northern lights hover in the sky as something strange begins to happen. People fall in and out of love in the most unexpected ways. Strangers become soulmates. Long-lost lovers reunite. Hearts break and heal and begin again. It's directed by Mary Smalley Acuff and runs January 30th through February 15th. For show information and tickets, go to gallerytheater.org. At Center Stage Theatrics, registration is now open for their first winter session of Center Stage Classes. The 6-week classes for students aged 11 and up starts in January at the McMinnville Community Center. There are 4 classes available: Acting Adventures for ages 11 through 14, Acting Foundations for ages 15 plus, Youth Improv classes for ages 11 through 14, and Teen and Adult Improv for ages 15 plus. For more information and to register for Center Stage Studio classes, go to centerstagetheatrics.org and their Facebook page. At the Greater Salem area theaters, Bridgetown Conservatory of Musical Theater in Salem is staging 2 productions of The World According to Snoopy for the holiday season. This student production plays December 4th through 7th at the Bridgetown Theater Black Box in Portland and December 11th through 14th at the Verona Studio Theater in Salem. And it's not too early to grab a spot at Bridgetown's Spring Performance Camp, happening March 23rd through 28th at Bridgetown's downtown Salem studio. Students will work on and present the SpongeBob Musical Student Edition. You can register through the link on the Bridgetown Conservatory of Music Facebook page or website. And go to bridgetownconservatory.org and Facebook for info about Triple Threat and college prep classes and for links and tickets to Bridgetown performances. At Kaiser Homegrown Theater, Love Letters by A.R. Gurney and directed by Linda Baker will feature a different cast performing each evening on February 13th, 14th, and 15th, plus a special performance at the Kaiser Elks Club. For show information and tickets, go to kaiserhomegrowntheater.org and their Facebook page. At Pinnacle Theater in Salem, the final show of Pentacle's 2025 season is In-Laws, Outlaws, and Other People That Should Be Shot. And that's on stage at Pinnacle Theater through December 13th. This crazy holiday comedy is written by Steve Franco. The KMUZ Theater Talk podcast features an interview with director Karen McCarty and actors Patrick Moser and James Hall. And you can still get 2026 season tickets at Pinnacle Theater on their website. The first show of the new year is the classic Kaufman and Hart comedy, You Can't Take It With You. It's directed by Scott Ramp and runs January 30th through February 21st. On the Pinnacle Theater call board, auditions for the Broadway hit musical comedy Something Rotten are December 13th at Howard Street Charter School at 625 Marion Street Northeast in downtown Salem. Set in 1595, the story follows the Bottom brothers, Nick and Nigel, who struggle to find success in the theatrical world as they compete with the wild popularity of their contemporary, William Shakespeare. It's directed by Robert Sahlberg and runs March 20th through April 11th at the Pinnacle Theater. See the pinnacletheater.org website and Facebook page for show information, tickets, and audition details. Theater 33 at Willamette University presents Holiday Shorts 2, December 12th through 21st at the Willamette University Theater. With a blend of wit, warmth, and a touch of magic, Holiday Shorts 2 offers unique perspectives on the Yuletide season in a collection of short plays by Pacific Northwest playwrights. Go to theater33.org and their Facebook page for show details and to reserve your tickets. Wandering Players Theatrics in Salem. On December 13th, you can dip into the holiday spirit as Wandering Players presents Holidays on the Rocks at the Grand Theater Ballroom in downtown Salem. For show information and tickets, go to the DoTheNecronomicon.com events page or their Facebook page. For the Stayton and Silverton area theaters, at Brush Creek Playhouse in Silverton, Best Always Marilyn Monroe runs through December 14th. This drama by Kathleen McBlair focuses on Marilyn Monroe's private life after she became a movie star. It's directed by Russell Oliveira Jr. Go to brushcreekplayhouse.org and Facebook for show information and tickets. At Spotlight Community Theater in downtown Stayton, the first show of Spotlight's 2026 season is Aladdin Trouble, and it runs from February 12th through 28th. For show information and tickets, see Spotlight's Facebook page and spotlightct.com. At the Albany and Corvallis area theaters, for Albany Civic Theater, Barefoot in the Park is on stage now through December 20th. In this classic Neil Simon comedy, Paul and Corey are adjusting to their new apartment and life as newlyweds. The biggest challenge is he's a straight-as-an-arrow lawyer and she's a free spirit, always looking for the latest kick. Paul just can't go with the flow, while Corey just wants him to be a little more spontaneous. Running barefoot through the park would be a good start. Listen to an interview with director Becky Roth and actors Asia Cook and Lexi Macedo on the KMUZ Theater Talk podcast. And that's followed on January 23rd through February 7th by Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And that's directed by Dan Bushong. On the Albany Civic Call Board, open auditions for Alice in Wonderland are happening December 8th at 6:30 p.m. at ACT. This adaptation of the Lewis Carroll novel is directed by Connor Riley and runs March 6th through 21st. For show information, tickets, and audition details, go to albanycivic.org and Facebook. At the Majestic Theater in Corvallis, The Outsiders runs January 23rd through February 1st, directed by the Majestic's first youth mainstage director, who brings his vision and raw understanding of the difficulties of being a teenager in a challenging world. And on the Majestic Theater Call Board, auditions for a modern adaptation of Rossum's Universal Robots, originally written by Karel Čapek in 1922 and adapted and directed by Brandy Douglas, are December 8th through 9th at 6:30 p.m. at the Majestic Theater. This groundbreaking story that first introduced robots to the sci-fi genre runs March 13th through 22nd. For show information, tickets, and audition details, go to majestic.org. At the Mid-Valley Colleges and Universities, at Western Oregon University in Monmouth, The Adventures of Mr. Toad by Joseph Weinberger plays February 26th through March 7th at Western's Rice Auditorium. It's directed by Janet Gumpton. For show information and tickets, go to the wou.edu theater page or their Facebook page. At Willamette University Theater in Salem, The Glass Door, an adaptation of Hedda Gabler by Henrik Ibsen, adapted by Stephen Evans, runs February 12th through March 1st. The Glass Door reimagines Ibsen's Hedda Gabler for a new audience, exploring the ambitions and struggles of a woman trapped in a society that denies her agency. As she seeks control in a world that resists her, she becomes entangled in a web of intrigue, seduction, and destruction. It's directed by Susan Coramel. For show information and tickets, go to wutheater.com and their Facebook page. At the Mid-Valley High Schools, South Albany High School is on Facebook at SAHS Theater. A Christmas Carol, a radio play adapted by Philip Grecian, has performances December 18th through 20th at the South Albany High School Commons. And Anastasia the Musical will run January 23rd through 31st at Lynn Benton Community College. At the Salem area high schools, McKay High School is on Facebook at McKay Thespians, and Mean Girls, the musical, will be on stage there January 23rd through 31st. McNary High School is on Facebook at Ken Collins Theater, where the Candor and Ebb Jazz Age musical Chicago will run January 22nd through 31st. At North Salem High School, and that's on Facebook at NSHS Theater, Shrek the Musical will be on the boards January 15th through 24th. And South Salem High School is on Facebook and Instagram at Saxon Drama. Follow the Yellow Brick Road to see The Wizard of Oz at South High tonight through December 7th. And that's followed by the student-produced series of 24-hour theater coming January 24th at South Salem High. At Sprague High School, She Kills Monsters, the Dungeons & Dragons Fun Fest, plays February 12th through 21st at Sprague. And at West Salem High School, and they're at westsalemdrama.com and on Facebook at West Salem Drama Department, a regional showcase happens January 25th. And that's a wrap for today's KMUZ Theater Talk calendar. If your Mid-Willamette Valley Theater has a play or audition coming up that's not on our calendar, please let us know at kmuztheatertalk@gmail.com. But before we close out our final KMUZ Theater Talk program of 2025, I have a favor to ask you first. KMUZ-FM is the Mid-Willamette Valley's all-volunteer, nonprofit, community-funded radio station. We depend on listeners like you and on the businesses throughout our community to help keep KMUZ-FM on the air and KMUZ Theater Talk coming your way. And with the holidays fast approaching, it's also a great time to join your friends, neighbors, and local businesses by making your year-end charitable gift to your favorite nonprofit community radio station. So do it today. Go to kmuz.org, click the Donate button, and become a sustaining donor or make a one-time contribution that fits your budget. And thank you so much for supporting KMUZ Theater Talk and your commercial-free, all-volunteer, community-funded radio station. Well, it's time to wind up today's final KMUZ Theater Talk program for 2025. Thanks a million for listening and for supporting our program. KMUZ Theater Talk comes your way at 9 a.m. the first and third Friday of the month on KMUZ 100.7 and 88.5 FM, also on KMWV FM Dallas at 98.3 HD2, and streaming worldwide at kmuz.org and on the KMUZ mobile app. If you'd like to share this program with your friends and hear more behind-the-curtain interviews, open your favorite podcast app and subscribe to KMUZ Theater Talk. After taking a holiday break, I'll be back January 2nd with a brand new KMUZ Theater Talk program. Meanwhile, see the KMUZ Theater Talk Facebook page for news and updates about live theater in the Mid-Willamette Valley. Next Friday at 9 a.m. on KMUZ 100.7 and 88.5 FM, you can hear Talking About Art with Joel Zack. KMUZ Theater Talk is proud to partner with the Mid-Valley Theater Network and with Press Play Salem. Until next time, I'll see you in the new year.